Hey everyone, I'm here to talk to you about Kami. So Kami is a really awesome extension that all of the students now have, and we as teachers also have the upgraded premium account as teachers, which means that our district is paying for it, totally able for everyone to use. Long story short, you can take PDFs and write on them, put text boxes on them. You can assign Google Classroom assignments. It's a really easy thing to use. So if you've never used Kami before, here's the website, kamiapp.com. You also will need the Kami extension. So if you go to the chrome.google.com/web store or just Google Chrome Web Store, you're going to search for Kami extension, and it's the one offered by kamihq.com. You'll see that mine is already pushed. You may or may not have it. So go ahead and do that. And once you do that, you can sign in. And here, this is the Kami homepage. Now, the other way to access Kami is through your extensions up here. These are all my extensions. And you see the Kami is the blue K. If you don't see the blue K, the first step is to take the little puzzle piece, extensions, and what you're going to do is you're going to scroll down until you see Kami, and then you're going to pin it. You're going to make sure that blue pin is there. Make sure that's clicked, and then Kami will appear right as an extension, and it'll open up the home page for you automatically. You might have to sign in if you've never used it before, but that is the easiest way to access Kami. Hi, this is Lancy, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm on my Chromebook, and what I want to show you is if I have a PDF that's like a really long book and I just want to get it to one page, there's a couple different ways to do that. So I'm going to find my PDF in my Google Drive, and you'll see this PDF right here is a whole book. So it's really long, 95 pages. So when I open it up, I can see that I'm scrolling through, right? But really, all I want is page 24. Let's see if I can get there. I just want to assign this page to my students, but I don't want to have all the others. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to print. And again, I'm on a Chromebook right now. Hit the print. I'm going to go choose my destination. Instead of my HCSD, I'm going to click on Save as PDF. I only want page 24, so I click on All and change it to Custom and write 24. Now, what will happen is I should get a preview of what that looks like over on the left once it goes. Let me move this up a little bit. So you'll see my preview came up. This is the one that I want. I pulled down the page 24, and this is page 24 in the PDF. And now I'm going to hit Save. When I do that, a new box appears, and it's going to allow me to save it wherever I want. So it has my Google Drive. I'm in Kami Videos, which is what I want to do. So I'm going to do Edition PDF One Pager, just so I know what it's called, and I'm going to hit Save. From there, if I was to go into my drive, it should be easily accessible right within my Kami file. So now let's look at it from the desktop point of view. I'm on my desktop right now, and again, I see my middle school math with Pizzazz. When I double click on it, I'll see it brings up a preview. Now, sometimes it doesn't bring up the entire preview because it's such a huge file. Again, there's 95 pages. So if I wanted to go to print and save it as one page, it doesn't let me. It's not yet available because it's still loading. If you're impatient, like I am, you can click on these three dots and go to Open New Window. When you do that, it brings up the print version. So from here, you can hit print, hit print again. Again, I'm going to hit Custom 24. I'm going to make sure that I save it as a PDF. You'll see this goes a lot faster than when I was on my Chromebook because the desktop is a lot more powerful. And then I'm going to hit Save. This pops right up. I get to find out where I want to put it. PDF one pager. There we go. Now, if I was to go into my drive, you'll see that I have just this one page saved as a PDF. So now that I have my PDF ready to go and I have just the one page that I want to use, I just want to give you an overview of what sort of things Kami is able to do. Well, let's start with how do I access it, right? How do I get my one pager back? So remember, you can always use the extension, which is probably the quickest and easiest. And once you do that, if you just created something, you can open it from Google Drive. It'll ask you to choose your account. And then it's going to have you look up the one pager that you just saved. So while I'm doing this, I probably could hit recent, and I'm just going to do it this way to show you how I get all the way through it. Oh, I did it wrong. And here we go. This opens it right in Google, from Google Drive, right? So here I am in Kami. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you is, let's say I want right to open it from Google Drive, but I go there and I forget what happens. So if I click on it, you'll see that it just pops up as a preview. At the top here, it says Open With. You can click on Annotate with Kami. That's the other way. So if you know how to get there, you can hit Annotate to Kami from the document itself, or you can go right up to the K extension here, and then you can open it that way. So there's two different ways to get there. So once you're in it, let me give you a quick overview. You'll see that my page looks a little dark. And the reason that is, if you click over here, that's my account settings. I have it on dark mode. I try and put everything I can on dark mode because I'm trying to save my eyes looking at a computer screen all day. You can also see there's other settings here if you're interested in that. You should have the education license when you look up here in the top left corner. Right now I have the select. I have a hand tool, which lets me grab things. The select just lets me click on things. And this, I can select the annotations. I don't have any annotations right now. There's a dictionary tool where you can highlight the word and it gives you the definition. Text to speech will read anything. So any PDF you have that you want the kids to be able to listen to, the text to speak feature is really convenient. Let's say they don't know how to do the directions. You can always change the speed. So let's say I think that's a little fast. So I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to try this again. Do the exercises. And you can change the voice, which I'm sure kids would have a great time with. All right, and I'm going to hit stop there. Markup allows you to draw on the screen. Now I'm on a desktop, so right now I only have access to my mouse. But if you had your touchscreen Chromebook, you'd be able to access that as well, and you could write all over. There's a box highlighter, which allows me to create a box and highlight that. I can undo it by hitting Control Z. There's the strike through if you want to get rid of something. It's going to strike right through it. Notice I can change the colors right here. Again, you could hit undo. And there's underline. So if there's something really important you want to make sure the kids do, you can underline it. Oops, I want it to be in pink. Nope, I didn't get that to work. So, but for example, these are all things that you can do. So now I can remove that. I can make comments. I can copy things. Here's the comment box right here. All right. I'm gonna have kids use the drawing tool. You'll see there's a text box. I can put text. There's an equation editor. You can insert symbols. Here's the drawing. So let's say I get one done and I realize that it's going to be, I'm gonna do blue, my favorite color. You can color it in. I can make it super thick. So I can color it in this way. There we go. So even though this is having me draw on here, I could still do it with colors. You could do full shapes, erase. Notice how the eraser doesn't erase, it just does my drawings and shapes. This does all annotations, so I can get rid of anything on here. Notice how it's all gone there. You can insert images from Google Drive, Google Search, put it right over top and then annotate right over it. Just my friendly dentist. Oh, not supported. So there are certain things you can do. You can also add your own signature to things. Lots of fun stuff for Cami. Now let's talk about up here. You can zoom in to make sure things are looking the way they should. You can share this document. Anyone with the link can be a viewer, editor. You can print it, the original by itself or with the annotations. You can save it. You can see that now I can click Save Now. It'll save now. I can download it. I can download the original. I can download it with the annotations. It gives you lots of different options here. Here's your help, which will be big help for all of us. Let's talk about the menu bar over here, the top right. The first thing on top is a split and merge document. You can take really long PDFs and you can pull out one page at a time. It's quicker to just go to File, Print, Save as a PDF, but you can do it that way. You can also pick out multiple pages from a document. So let's say I wanted to use this middle school math with pizzazz and I only wanted like 4 or 5 pages. Instead of going through and having to figure out what pages they are, I can go into split merge. You can see here, I have my document I want. I'm gonna hit next. And now you'll see up here, it has all the pages. And depending on what pages I want, I just grab the page I want and I pull it down here. And what that'll do is it will put these pages together. I can split them. I can put them together. I can mix them all up. I can drop more down here. I can also, if I was to go back, if I did that also, I can also add 2 different PDFs together and create one file. So that's a nice feature. OCRs for scanned PDFs. OCR means optical character recognition. I always get that one wrong. But basically what it means is that even if you scan a PDF through the copy machine, it'll still read the characters and tell you what it says exactly. This gives you the document properties. You can create a Google assignment right here. If I wanted to quickly go to the first page, I could click this right to the first page. If I wanted to quickly go to the last page, I could do that. Let's say I want to go to exactly what page. It would take me right to that page. I can restore annotations, bring back anything that I had before. You can rotate them. I can put it on 2-page view so I can look at 2 pages at the same time. This is nice when you have a big monitor like I do. So from your menu bar, you can do 2-page view or 1-page view. If you wanted to, you could do presentation mode, which hides everything else. There you go. To get out of it, you can hit this X or the escape button. Oops, sorry. And finally, you can hide comments, undo, redo, all of that good stuff. Cami also connects to Google Classroom. Remember, all of the students have Cami Force installed on their extension bar right up here. It also allows them to open any PDF in Cami by using that blue button that pops up for us. So let's say I want to give a Cami assignment. I'm going to go on Classwork and I'm going to click on Create. You'll see I have Cami assignment. When I click on that, it's going to ask me to choose my Google account. This is the account that I use for teaching. I'm going to choose my account, and it has a lot of permissions because it wants to be able to see my files, share my files, edit my files. So now, here we go. I'm going to select it for Google Classroom. You'll see I'm going to select it for just Lucian. What I'm going to do is read the passage and answer the questions. Now I'm going to add my PDF by clicking on the Google Classroom there. So I want the 2-OWL assignment I just found. There it is. I'm going to select that. It's attached. Topic, I'm going to put it under practice assignments. It's scheduled for now. There's no due date. Let's see. You can see I can restrict what sort of things that the kids use. So for example, this is a reading comprehension assignment. You might not want the kids to have the talk to text tool that allows them to read it to them. But for now, I'm going to allow it. I do not, though, want him to have access to the dictionary because I'm checking his vocabulary. He may get a little distracted by all of these different things, video content, so I'm going to take off the comment tools for him. He doesn't need equation, he doesn't need to draw on it, he doesn't need shapes. But then I'll let him have the eraser, a couple of the markups, and the text box. Now I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to assign it. Once I do that, it's going to assign it right in my Google Classroom, just how I would usually do an assignment. If I open it in Classroom, now we'll get to see what it looks like. Here it is. Let's take a look at it from Lucian's side of the view. Now I'm logged in as Lucian. You'll see when he goes to his Google Classroom, he's going to click on My Class, Classwork, and here is his assignment for practicing reading. He can click on View Assignment, and this will show him read the passage and answer the questions. When Lucian clicks on this, it's a PDF. It doesn't allow him to write directly on it. He's going to need to know to click on the Open with Cami link. When he does that, it's going to open in a new page, and there may be some things he has to accept, some permissions if he's never logged into Cami before. And that's okay. It may take a few tries to get through. It's good to do this with your kids for the first time if they haven't used Cami before, because they will need to go through, answer all these questions. So, the first thing I want you to notice is over on the left, at first he had access to all the different tools, but when I posted this, I restricted his tool usage. So you'll see that not everything is there. You can see that I'd already logged in as him, and I had put his name here. The way I did that was I selected a text box and I clicked it. It saved it from the last time. It automatically saves. So now he's reading the story. It's so lovely. He can click here and have the story read to him. It may not work because I'm recording.
There is a tall tree in Meg's yard.
There we go.
A spotted owl lives in the tree.
And we'll continue to read to him until he hits stop. That's one nice thing about it, is that it does read to the kids. So now he needs to answer the questions. He clicks on his text box. He comes down here, where is the tall tree? The tall tree is in Meg's yard, period. Now he's going to go through and answer all these questions. When he's finished, from here, all he needs to do is hit the Turn In button. It'll show that he has 2 unsaved changes. He can save now, but really all he has to do is hit Turn In. Oh, now because he's never used it before, we need to make sure that he authorizes Google Drive. Again, it might be nice to do one assignment as a class all together over a Google Meet or in person so that you can work out all of these kinks ahead of time. This won't happen once you allow everything and get it to go. So I'm going to hit Turn In. It's saving to Google Drive. It's turning it in for me. Spinning wheel of death. And I'm done. So now when I exit out, I should be able to go in here and from Google Classroom, we'll see. It says it's assigned. It should automatically turn in, but you may want to have the kids check it and hit turn in. Let's look at what it looks like from the teacher's point of view once it's been turned in. So I'm back in my Google Classroom as the teacher, and I want to go into Classwork to see how my son did. You can see that he turned it on. So I'm going to click on View Assignment. And here, I can click on his assignment, and it'll bring it up. And not only will it show me what he did, but you can see here that it shows me all of his text boxes that he added as well. Now, this doesn't just include text box. I can also see if he colored on it. I can see his annotations, all of that stuff, and that will all be there as well. So that's how you post an assignment on Google Classroom using Kami. Kami also allows you to use it to grade assignments within Google Classroom. So as I'm going in, Lucian handed in this assignment, and I'm going to click on it. And I'll see over here on the right, it gives me the option to grade with Kami. When I click that, it automatically opens in Kami, and you can see all the different options I have. Unfortunately, his username and my username are the same because we have the same initials. That wasn't on purpose, I promise. So let's talk about making comments. I see that he used the full sentence and did a really good job on using part of the question in the answer. So I want to make a comment on that. You can see I can make a voice comment, a video comment, or a screen capture. I'm going to do a voice comment. It'll allow me to upload my voice here. It may not work because never mind. I have to allow. Great job using part of the question in your answer. So now when he goes back in to see that, great job using part of the question in your answer. He can just click on it and hear what I had to say. I can also use the drawing tool to mark things up because let's say he didn't do this and he didn't do this. And I'm going to put a question mark, right? I've seen people use images as their Bitmojis if they want to say like, hey, great job. So you can go in here and it can almost be like a digital sticker if somebody did a really good job. I don't know what sort of images I have in here. Yeah, there's not really anything I like there. But if you had digital stickers, you could do those. And then I'm going to return it to him. When I return it, I didn't give him a grade because we're not grading it. Never mind. So when I go back into this assignment, I should be able to click on it. It'll come up as returned. You will be able to see the stuff right here. Here's my annotations. Here's my voice comment. You can always unclick the grade with Kami, but that is how you would leave a voice comment and grade with Kami. So that's a really nice feature too. If you have little kids or kids who aren't really big readers, it will be right in there. So I just want to end this with the fact that Kami has been trying to keep us up to date on how things are changing within their world. They did put out a new and updated handbook. You'll see right here, it's on my screen. It was released in August in 2020. So if this video went a little too fast for you, there's a whole mess of stuff on here on how to use Kami. Not just, it says Google Classroom, but also navigating it. It talks about split and merge. It talks about it across the curriculum. This document is 48 pages long. And if you go onto my website under Educator Resources, you'll see that I added it right here, Kami User's Handbook. If you want a really short and sweet, not any of the new version stuff, but the free version, I have my quick Cami right here. So that's always welcome for you guys to use. Cami does have some stuff for students as well online, step-by-step guide on how to do a Cami assignment. So I didn't create this, but it's right on the Cami website if anyone's interested in that. And again, this is also for students to see, but this handbook is really helpful and self-explanatory. Lots of people are using it. So if you have questions and you can't get a hold of me or you do reach out to me, feel free to ask other people in the buildings because I know lots of people are using it and having success. And that is your overview on Cami.